Pass by number 1, Trey Smith, and number 10, Miles Campbell. Tackle made by number 1, Trayvon Ridley. And number 14, Kobe Carnage. That's a first down for the Hornets. Carry by number 1, Trey Smith. Tackle made by number 0, Marty Stevenson. Second down. Third down. That's by number 1, Trey Smith, and number 0, Sean Smith. Tackle made by number 0, Amari Stevenson. That's a first down for the Hornets. Carry by number 1, Trey Smith. Tackle made by number 0, Amari Stevenson. Second down. Carry by number 1, Trey. Touchdown Hornets. Carried by number 2, Christian Hornets. Tackle made by number 90, O'Shawn Walker. Second out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the good old-fashioned technical difficulties here in the Thursday night semifinal games. Glad to have you with us here across the board, trying to make sure we're live and ready to go.
Hey, can you do me a favor and reset the transmitter?
I do hear Robert's voice, which is always nice. Until I get a thumbs up across the board before I bring you over our two announcers, Craig Chapman and Alex Schaefer. We're live here in Thomas County Central. We have an injured player on the field. They're playing Roswell, the Hornets versus the Yellow Jackets. Going to be a great game here. Glad to have you with us. Hey, gentlemen, I can bring you in right now because everything finally met together. Alex, Butch, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Man, oh man, if there's not enough headache-pounding medicine at this point, goodness gracious alive. You know, you think everything works properly, and then it does not. Hope the player is good to go. But, Alex, give us a recap of what has happened so far.
Yeah, well, you can see the score down there, 14-7 already. It's been fireworks, and if you like offense, you're coming to the right place.
You are, definitely.
These two teams have come into this one rolling through the playoffs here, averaging more than 45 points per game in the playoffs, both of these squads. And the offense was on display early. Roswell had a big-time touchdown, a bomb about 75 yards to their top receiver, Wills Campbell. They took the lead first. Thomas County then came out and ran it right down the field and ended up scoring on an 80-yard touchdown drive with a touchdown from Christian Lawrence. And then Roswell came right back out, went back down the field, and a touchdown run by quarterback Trey Smith put them back ahead. Now they've exchanged defensive stops. They got a big fourth down stop, did Roswell, a 4th and inches right at midfield, but then a couple of penalties set their offense back, and they had to punt, and now Thomas County has it once again. I'm Alex Schaefer, joined by Butch Prosser, and here go the Yellow Jackets. A big catch and run here, and off to the races are the Yellow Jackets. Like we said, if you like scoring, you're in the right place. Jabari Watkins goes the distance for the Yellow Jackets, and we're an extra point away from being tied back up here, Butch.
That's unbelievable. If you want a defensive game, you better turn and watch the Falcons in Tampa Bay tonight, because there's not been a lot of defense played in this game. Offenses are just ridiculous right now. That's 2 big plays now, one for each team. It's just up and down the field. Yeah,
and just a simple tunnel screen there. That I mean, you got to love that as a quarterback. You get 60 yards on your stat sheet, and you threw the ball -2. So,
and we're
tied up. Here we go with the score 58 replay. You can see the tunnel screen set up really nicely. Good blocks at the first level, and then just the absolute individual effort. Got some blocking down deep downfield, but Jabari Watkins flashing the speed and showing why he is committed to go to Nebraska in a couple of years. He's a junior for Thomas County Central, 600-yard receiver on the year, 10 touchdowns, make that 11 now. And, you know, that's showing right there why that's going to be a Big Ten football player right there.
Yeah, there are a lot of athletes on both of these teams, and boy, they're out showcasing tonight because it's been an offensive display so far. We're, minute 54 in the first quarter, and we've got 28 points on the board.
Yeah.
So,
I think the over-under is somewhere around 100, I think.
Yeah. Coming in, you had in the playoffs, you had Thomas County Central averaging a whopping 59 points a game, and Roswell was averaging 48. So they're
lagging behind there.
They don't mind trying to outscore each other.
Got to pick it up. Only 48 now.
Unbelievable.
On to kick for Thomas County Central is number 43. That is Carson Morales. He's going to kick this one deep. And it goes into the end zone for the touchback. And Roswell's going to start at the 20.
And usually you think that's such a weapon to start at the 20, but we've seen 2 80-yard drives so far tonight, and then a 90-yard drive. So as a defensive coordinator, with the weapons that you're facing, it's a nightmare.
It is indeed, but we did see Roswell came up with a big-time defensive stop. Thomas County Central taking what the offense gave them on that previous drive where they kind of shot themselves in the foot with a couple of penalties, the first ones of the game back-to-back. Here goes Smith, throws it out to Campbell on the outside, and he's thrown down with authority. Tackle made by Eddie Ghsa. Ghsa going to ODU, Old Dominion next year. Here's Smith on the carry. And he's going to get knocked out of bounds after a gain of about 2. It'll be third down for the Hornets. About 3rd and 5 now. Got to get to the 30 to keep the drive alive. And TCC here with an opportunity to potentially get off the field back-to-back 3-and-outs.
Yeah, that would be huge. Both these quarterbacks are going to run the football, and they're both very powerful runners, so you're not going to arm tackle.
Officially a 3rd and 6, and that one was nearly intercepted, and that was going to be a pick 6 for Donnell Jester.
Oh, he read that play perfectly.
Jester looking for his 4th interception of the year, leads the team, going to Delaware next year. And Jester just about made himself a house call, but Roswell is going to survive on that one and have the opportunity to punt it away. Good punt on the first one, downed it inside the 10. We'll see if they can get another good punt. Rugby style, high kick. Bounces and rolls.
Wow, great punt.
And it's going to die just past the 30. And another really nice punt for the Hornets.
Now can they find a way to slow this Thomas County Central offense down just a little bit? They had one big stop, and then it's been an 80-yard drive and a 90-yard drive.
Yeah, and it was a stop on a 4th and inches where they went with a little bit of a shovel toss to the motioning wing, and really outstanding defense played on the perimeter by Ian Faust, who shed a block, and then he got help from Christian English, the corner out there, and they were able to stonewall it and keep it from getting the half a yard that they needed. But other than that big stop, it's really been all TCC offense, except right now, big-time sack in the backfield. Tyler Presnall gets in the backfield and takes down the quarterback, big Jalen Johnson.
Big play right there on a blitz coming off the corner, comes unblocked, and if he doesn't make that play, you're probably going to be off to the races again.
Yep. So it'll be 2nd down and long after the big-time sack. Johnson with Lawrence in the pistol. Fakes the handoff, rolls, pumps, fires, finds his safety valve in the flat. And it's going to be a nice pickup there on 2nd down. Catch was made by Gary Pringle. And it'll bring up a 3rd down for TCC. 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, they caught the outside linebacker in a kind of no-win situation. Do I cover or do I attack the quarterback? And the quarterback makes a good decision there and dumps it off.
And that's going to be the end of the quarter. So thank you for joining us here on the Score 58 Network, wherever you're catching us from. We've got a great one here, the semifinals of the GHSA playoffs. Roswell 14, Thomas County Central 14. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. We got more football coming at you here in just a moment. We're back here from Thomas County Central. Start of the second quarter. We've got a 14-14 game, and it's been all fireworks in the first quarter. Here's the shot from Johnson down the seam. Can't get his man. Trying to get that one out there to Rodney Dunbar, but it's going to fall incomplete. Dunbar, 6'5" senior, committed to go to Pitt next year. He's the second of their two 600-yard receivers on the year. He's got 11 touchdowns.
I think they're calling pass interference on this play. Yeah, a hold right there. So that'll give Thomas County Central an automatic first down here.
Yeah, Christian English, who had the big stop on fourth down, guilty of the hold or the pass interference, whichever one it was that they called there. And an empty set now for Thomas County Central, bunched to the right. And they're going to reset here. Tight end to the line, back into the backfield. It's Lawrence. He's already got a rushing touchdown on the evening. They're going to hand it off to him. Up the middle, lowers the shoulder, and he's going to pick up 5. It's a nice run on first down for the Yellow Jackets and Lawrence. 1,500-yard rusher on the season, 21 touchdowns for Lawrence, the future Demon Deacon. You can see our first quarter stats. Those kind of numbers that we sometimes see games that don't have those kind of numbers through 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Here's Lawrence bouncing to the outside, and a really nice open field tackle made by Roswell's number 20, Ian Faust. Again, he made the play on the fourth down, and he came up there big and made a tackle that stopped the progress of Lawrence.
Yeah,
otherwise, that was going to be a first down.
A couple of big plays right here defensively to save possibly scoring plays for Thomas County Central. You can see the offensive line here just massive, and they do a great job getting off the ball, creating running lanes.
It's going to be a 3rd and short now for the Yellow Jackets. Here's Lawrence in motion. Johnson will keep it himself. He's got the first, and a little bit more before he's taken down. Gain of about 4 on the carry for the quarterback of Thomas County Central.
Boy, that's a tough play on your defense, on your linebackers when you running that read follow-up in there. You've actually got an extra blocker. It's a quarterback ISO, basically.
Jordan McNeil, the back in the backfield with Johnson. Here's the snap. Handoff goes to McNeil, and there's nowhere to run. Swallowed up in the backfield by Roswell. Leading the charge was Brody Duffy. Leads the team in tackles for loss and sacks, 19.5 and 8.5 respectively for the senior.
Jake Smith, outside linebacker there, did a great job setting the edge and making running back turn back inside. So
Evan Martin is the new back in the backfield with Johnson. Nub tight end trips to the field. 2nd down and 10. Roswell brings pressure. Johnson sits in the pocket, rolls out. He's going to get hit. That one's up in the air. Be interesting to say if that went backward, but if his arm was coming forward. But either way, it's a huge play for the Roswell defense. They brought everyone. Oh my goodness.
Number 20 right there, Ian Faust just got
clotheslined
right there, and no call, but he's made big plays. We've got another stop right there for Roswell. So
4th down. First punt of the night for Thomas County Central, and it goes to John Bradshaw. Layfield was on the field on that one. So they took Faust's head off with that.
Man.
Heavy rush, but doesn't get there. This one is going to fall short and kick up right short of the 20. It's going to go out of bounds at the 20, looks like 5 officially is where they will mark it. And it is going to be, hold on. We do have a holding on Roswell on the return.
Wow.
trying to sort this one out here. The White Hats figuring things out. Either way, it's going to be bad field position again for Roswell to start the drive. They really haven't had, other than the 4th down stop, they haven't had good field position to start a drive really all night. But it hasn't really slowed them down.
No, and when they started at midfield, they went backwards. They had 2 penalties that cost them. I think they're trying to determine now, is this post-possession?
That would be a huge swing if they decide to enforce this. That'd be a first down.
Yeah.
In the conversation with the head man for Thomas County Central. Maybe they were checking the yardage and it wasn't going to be a first down, so they're going to check and see if they want to take it and have the 4th and 1 if it would be. That could potentially be what's on the table here. Long deliberation, and finally so it is going to be reassessed. Oh, no, you know what? I think our White Hat signaled the wrong direction.
Yeah.
It was holding on Thomas County Central. So Roswell accepts it, forces the re-kick, backs him up, and so we will get another shot to see the punting action of Jake Jones.
Wow.
Jones has it, punts this one away. It's going to check up, and it's going to go to the 27. So
all that, we get 2 yards.
Yeah. Well, 2 yards is better than nothing.
We'll see what Roswell has in store this time with their offensive possession. They slowed down a little bit here in the second quarter. First quarter was just wild up and down the field, and both defenses have seemed to settle in a little bit.
Well, we saw Wills Campbell, number 10. He had the receiving touchdown, came into the game with 1,300 yards and 13 touchdowns. That's over 1,400 now and 14 touchdowns. And he had another spectacular catch down the sideline that kept a drive going for him, and they ended up scoring there too. So he's been a huge part of the offense. A big-time stop in the backfield, though, for Thomas County Central. That is number 28, Jacoby Herring. And he was shot out of a cannon there.
Yeah, he makes a real good read on the outside zone and comes flying up to make that tackle. Stops for a loss of 2. Loss of 1, I guess. So we're second down and 11.
Roswell motioning. They do a lot of pre-snap movement. Here's the snap. Smith rolling right. Fires. Deep shot down the sideline. Got a man. Caught. 30, 25, 20, and he takes him out of bounds. But a huge play for Roswell in the passing game. Again, Drake Kuzi gets behind the defender in coverage. It was number 13, Jermaine Dennis. But it is going to be a Roswell first down, and the offense of the Hornets is cooking now.
And that's just a straight go route, not any kind of double move. Just, I'm going to outrun you and beat you deep. And that ball was dropped right on the money. Great throw down the field.
So some life for the offense. Smith fires, left side. Campbell lost his footing and can't quite make the diving catch, but it was another one where they had the receiver behind the defender and just a little bit of touch on that one from Smith, and Campbell's got his second of the game.
Yeah, that was it. I don't know if they're picking on a cornerback or if they're just making plays. But once again, he was wide open. We got second and 10. Ball at the 18-yard line for Roswell. Looks like we got a timeout.
So Roswell's going to talk this one over. Coming up on a big second down inside the red zone.
Here's a replay of the pass, and you can see it's just a straight drop back, a little semi-roll, but you can see that pass was right on the money. And here we are from another angle, and what a throw. And good recovery by the corner to get back and make the tackle and keep him out of the end zone. But what a big play for Roswell right there. And you're inside the red zone with a chance to go up 21-14.
Well, Roswell has yet to trail in this game. Thomas County's been playing from even or behind the whole night, and Roswell's going to try and keep it that way here, so they'll look to punch it in. 2nd and 10 from the 18. Heavy set here. Pair of upbacks for the Hornets, and they're going to get the offsides.
You get a free offense, free 5 yards for the offense. It's not been slowed down a whole lot. It's not good for your defense there.
So it'll make it 2nd down and 5 now after the penalty. Just over 8 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Trey Smith, the quarterback, is going to keep it, shovels it outside, and a really nice play there. Big block on the outside. The receiver just kind of let the defender go where he wanted to, and then just rode him out on that edge.
Yeah, it's the second time they've run that play. It's a really nice design right there.
Yeah, Sean Smith, the tight end, took it. Roswell goes quickly here. Trey Smith, the quarterback, carries across the 5. It'll be 2nd down and goal. And Sean Smith, 6'2", 205, sophomore tight end for the Hornets. He's come up big for him a couple of times, been good in the blocking game as well. Certainly a player to watch here moving forward for the next couple of years. But Trey Smith is the story right now. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. He's got all 3 scores for the Hornets. 1 through the air, 2 on the ground, and the Hornets reclaim the lead.
Well, that was easy. That's just a straight quarterback ISO right there, and they both these offensive lines are just doing an outstanding job.
Kicker on for Roswell. It is Ballant Vorosmarty. And the future Georgia State Panther puts it through. It is 21-14. Here's Smith again on the touchdown run. See the skip pull from the guard, gets out in front, gets a huge block from his running back, Peel. Just follows right behind that, and Peel with the seal to get Smith in the end zone. Nick Peel is the leading rusher for Roswell, 1,300 yards, 19 touchdowns on the season, but he was leading the way for Smith, who has 1,122, make it 24 now after his 2 tonight. And, you know, there's a common phrase among skill players for a lot of offensive coordinators: no block, no rock. And Peel has certainly earned his share of carries for the way that he's been blocking tonight. 6 plays on the drive, 68 yards for the Hornets. And they finally take advantage of what was relatively decent field position to start. This one's going to go out of the end zone once again.
Yeah, Thomas County Central again starting at their own 20, and they've pretty much started there all night long. So far they've answered every time Roswell has scored, so big time for them to step up again and follow that big offensive line and see if they can get some movement and get down the field.
Yeah, I think that it was number 64, Jesse 2, who we saw hurt when we first came on the broadcast, and he's back out there at guard, so good to see for Thomas County Central. Here's the motion from Watkins, and we're going to get a whistle. And it's offsides offense. Don't see that a whole lot.
No, somebody had to lined up in the neutral zone. Now puts Thomas County Central behind the sticks to start.
1st and 15 after the procedural penalty, and those are the ones that drive coaches wild.
Yeah, you're playing week 13 and you line up offsides. That's just
good communication up front on the O-line. But really nice disciplined defense played by Roswell there. And we do have another O-lineman down for the Yellow Jackets. I think that's the left guard. It's number 58, Noah Gunter, a sophomore guard for Thomas County Central, who is down. You see there number 77, the last to walk off the field. Deontavis Cooper, senior left tackle, who will be going to Tulane next year. The Green Wave will be playing in the college football playoff, and they've got themselves a massive humanity coming their way next year in Cooper. Well, while we have the player down, we want to talk about the new playoff format that's going to be introduced to the GHSA next year. The GHSA made the most profound change to its playoff format in history in October, and beginning next season in the 2026 football season, all sports using a tournament bracket will choose and seed playoff teams using the GHSA's points rating system called the postseason rankings. Region finishes no longer will matter except to ensure that region champions are seeded in the top 16 of a 32-team bracket. The third-place region finisher might be ahead of their champion from their own region, or a fifth-place finisher could take a playoff spot ahead of a third-place finisher. The PSR currently helps seed and pick playoff teams in classes 3A, 2A, A Division I, and 3AA private, but with exceptions granted for region finish. And in 2026-2027, the PSR will govern all classes with almost no region guardrails. PSR is a formula that relies heavily on a team's and its opponent's winning percentage. It is popular for its simplicity but criticized for its accuracy. Region finish has guided GHSA playoffs since the association first staged football playoffs for all classes in 1948. Good to see Gunter walking off the field more or less under his own power. There's Lawrence motioning out of the backfield. Heavy rush coming. Johnson gets rid of it. This one is caught by Lawrence, nearly intercepted, but he gets away from the tackler, but not before Roswell is able to rally and take him down. Gain of 1.
Great job by the quarterback getting rid of the ball. He's locked up. Great pressure by Roswell right there, and you can see just getting the ball out. And, boy, once again, that ball was almost picked. And then you have a lot of white jerseys getting to the football.
Yeah, Sako Sheriff, number 91 for Roswell, was in on the would-be tackle on Johnson if he had not gotten that one away. So 3rd and long here for the Yellow Jackets. Play action, caught over the middle and slips down just shy. Would have had the first, but he lost his footing. That is Rodney Dunbar, future Pitt Panther. You see the field a little slick there. They had some rain down there? I know we had rain up here.
Yeah.
But
Fourth and
big time, fourth down. 4th and 1 from their own 29. No, 28. It's 4th and 2. Gonna motion and reset. Now here comes Watkins motioning. And the timeout for Thomas County Central as they were trying to get the free first down to try to get Roswell to jump off sides, but no dice. Hey, look at that. Right on cue, our weather forecast for Thomasville, Georgia. 47 degrees, a crisp 4-mile-per-hour wind. Humidity is at 46% and 0% chance of rain here for our game tonight. But you can see the field conditions right around the hatches particularly. Looks like there's some risk for slippage.
yeah. And this is probably the first game Roswell has played on grass all year.
Yeah.
Because most everything in the metro Atlanta
It's
area
all turf.
is turf. So
Well, this is the first game that these two teams have played in 12 days.
yeah,
We had the delay for this classification. So our semifinals got pushed out a little bit, but we are happy to be bringing them to you here tonight. Beautiful December 11th. And here comes the Thomas County Central offense. They're going to line up tight. 4th and 2, and they get the jump.
oh my goodness.
So Brody Duffy, the leading tackle for loss and sack man on the Roswell defense. He had a sack earlier in the night, but trying to time it up and just couldn't hold up there. And Thomas County Central is going to get the jump, and they're going to get the free first down.
Yeah, boys, you've done a great job, and then you jump on 4th and 1. Oh, you shake your head as your defensive coordinator.
Well, I shake my head because it's cheating, but, you know, we won't go there. I know we disagree. Here's Johnson, going to pitch it out. Lawrence has the edge. A big block by Watkins, and they're going to force him out of bounds right at the 40-yard line. Nice run there for Lawrence on first down. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 3. Empty backfield now for Johnson. He's going to have everybody else motion back in. Lots of changes, lots of shifts, lots of pre-snap adjustments. Love to see it. Big communication again up front. Picking up the blitzers. Here's the shot. Dunbar over the shoulder, but no.
Wow, what a throw. That ball's right on the money again. That just dropped.
Yeah, and that's, you know, Dunbar is an outstanding receiver. We talked about his 600 yards coming into the game, 11 touchdowns. He's going to Pitt next year. 6'5", a big body. But a couple plays there on this drive. The 3rd down play where he slipped and that one there on the drop. Those are a couple that he usually doesn't miss and a couple that he wants back. We'll see if that affects him as the game goes on. But it's going to be a 3rd down and 3. They're going to hand it off to Lawrence. He's got a hole, and he's got a broken tackle. He's down to 50, and he's across the 50 to the 48 before he's pushed out of bounds. Call it the 47 officially, and it's going to be a big-time first down run for Christian Lawrence.
And number 36, Tyler Presnall.
We're going to go to a replay, but we're going quick here. Thomas County Central on the ball. Here's Lawrence motioning right. Resetting. More pressure from Roswell. Johnson gets it away, and he skips this one to his target. That one's going to be Gary Pringle, and did he catch that?
Yeah, complete.
Wow, what a catch. That one was low and a really outstanding concentration catch there for Pringle to set up a 2nd down and 1. 9-yard gain.
Roswell's doing a really good job with their pressure. They're in a 3-3-5, and they're mixing up who's coming and where they're coming from, and they're overloading one side, doing a really good job.
It's going to be Pringle once again. Shakes off a tackle. It's got blockers downfield, and it's another big play in the passing game. On the short pass out of the backfield, it's Pringle, and they have had money on the short throws and getting their athletes out in space.
Yeah, they caught Roswell bringing their 3 inside linebackers, and nobody picked up the running back out of the backfield.
We go back to the nub tight end. A tray set with a wing. Play action. Shot to the end zone. Here's Dunbar. Caught. Touchdown. And it is Thomas County Central evening it back up. And Dunbar showing why he's going to a power conference next year. Making up for earlier in the drive. A couple of bad plays there for him. A slip and a drop, but over the shoulder, falling away from his body, and makes the catch in the end zone for the score. And we do have a conversation here.
Yeah, he's going to get 15 yards for spiking that ball after the catch. So they'll kick off from, it'll be assessed on the kickoff, I'm sure.
So we're an extra point away from getting this one tied back up 21-21. And, you know, you hate to see a penalty like that, but you can't.
Right, you can't.
That particular moment for him after having 2 bad moments on the drive, that one could have potentially ended the drive for him on the 3rd down that he didn't cut, that he didn't get the first, and then you had the catch, the deep catch that he should have made.
Right.
You know, the emotion, you understand.
Right.
You know, we're going to take a look at the replay here on this one, and you said it, just a beautiful throw here from Johnson. Dropped it in the bucket. Dunbar, the concentration catch over the shoulder, got behind the receiver and catches it going to the ground. Jalen Johnson, a senior, being recruited by West Georgia, Georgia State, Northern Illinois, Charlotte, among others. And it's no surprise why he's a really highly touted quarterback prospect out of the state of Georgia.
You have a little play action there, and you're bringing a lot of blitzes, and you got man-to-man coverage, and the receivers are winning so far.
Yeah, and you said it, it's another 80-yard touchdown drive for Thomas County Central. Roswell's been doing a good job of pinning them to start, but Thomas County's been just taking the 80 and going the length.
You can see the drive summary there, 9 plays, 3 first down, 3 rushes for 23 yards, 5 passes for 57, and a touchdown.
But arguably the biggest play on that one wasn't one that'll show up on the stat sheet. It's that 4th and 2, and they got the jump from the defense to keep the drive alive. But the penalty is going to make this a deeper kickoff from the 25 is where it will be kicked. And we will see what Carson Morales has here.
Yeah, Roswell should get pretty decent field position.
And Morales has done a good job punting the football. And he's been good in kicking it off as well so far tonight. This one's going to be fielded at the 25, taken to the 30, and that's going to be where he stopped just across the 30. Tackle made for Thomas County Central by number 24, Jatavius Weish. And Roswell's going to start off with decent field position at about the 33.
With 4 minutes left in the half, we may see 3 more touchdowns. Yeah, what an exciting game this is. And,
defense currently optional in the county of Thomas. Another pre-snap adjustment from Roswell. Handoff. And a really nice tackle made there. Peel had an opportunity, but number 15, Tyson Johnson, came in and made the play on the edge. And if not for that tackle, Peel has a lot of room to run.
Yeah.
2nd down and 8 after the 2-yard gain. And Campbell just a little out of reach. Running step for step with him was Eddie Ghsa, the future Monarch.
Yeah, Campbell in their quarterfinal game had 5 receptions for 230 yards.
And 3 touchdowns. He had more catches that went for scores than he had catches that didn't.
Yeah.
But right now, it's a 3rd and long for the Hornets. And the Yellow Jackets going to try to come up with another big stop here. 3rd and 8 from the 35. Here's Campbell in motion. But first, Coach Thompson's going to take a timeout. And the Hornets are going to ask for a break here as they try and figure out what they want to do here on this 3rd and long. And just under 4 minutes to play now, going to be right around 3:30-ish, 3:52 on the clock at the timeout. We've got our flag games there. Washington County, Harris County in Division I, Jenkins and Greenbrier in Division II. Bowden and Lincoln County are playing at 3:30 for the A Division II championship. Got Creekside and Benedictine at 4A. A couple of powerhouses right there going at it.
That's going to be
a late game. That's December 15th on Monday. Then Tuesday, got Whitewater and North Oconee for flag in Division III. Milton and Blessed Trinity, the Division IV flag game. And then you got Toombs County, Worth County, the A Division I, Hateville and Carver Columbus, the 2A. And the matchup that I think the entire high school football watching world is looking at, Carrollton and Buford, the number 1 and number 5 schools in the country. 1 and 2 in the state of Georgia, but 1 and 5 in the country are playing for the Georgia State Championship. Should be a really good one there on Tuesday night from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. But a 3rd down and long here as we've got Roswell and Thomas County Central. One of these two teams will be playing for the state championship. Bit of a low snap, and Thomas County Central is going to get there. Cam Brooks, the 6'2 senior, going to Florida State next year. 10.5 sacks, make it 11.5 on the year. As
good
we haven't talked about it yet tonight, Butch, but we talk about it every game. Something that really goes overlooked is the quarterback center exchange. It's been clean all night for both of these teams. Right there, a little bit of a lob back there. It was slow, and it really did not give Smith any opportunity to get into his drop. Roswell high snap that time, and oh my goodness, this is a fake. I don't know if it was a design fake, but it's going to work, whatever it was. A huge run and a big play made there by Tyler Presnall. He's been good punting the football tonight, but right there, that was a design play because you see he's got the blocker out in front, the PP got out there, and I think that was a design play. If that was design, that's a gutsy call.
Yeah, that's because it was a bad snap. It was a high snap, and he does a great job fielding the punt. And then Thomas County Central was bringing pressure, and there was just nobody on the edge.
Well, he's been rolling to his right on his punts, and that's exactly where Thomas County brought the pressure from. So, whether it was by design or just a really heads-up play by a high IQ football player right there to know if they're pressuring me right, I've got a lot of room to run on the left. It keeps the drive alive. Double pass. Taking the shot middle of the field and overthrows the intended target. Trying to get that one to the big tight end, Sean Smith. It was Drake Ghsa on the throw attempt. But the trickeration doesn't work there. But Roswell with life here after the 4th down. Fake punt, quote unquote.
You're going to fake on 4th and 13. You are a better coach, a gutsier coach than I ever was. Especially backed up where you were on that play.
2nd and 10 now. Smith hands it off to Peel. Jump cut to the inside, but nowhere to run. Nice play there made by Thomas County Central up the middle. Omari Stevenson, 12 tackles for loss on the year. Future Kennesaw State Owl. So another 3rd and long now on the drive for Roswell. 3rd and 9 this time. telltale buzz of the Yellow Jackets. Anybody familiar with Thomas County Central football knows exactly where you're at when you hear the noise. Here's Smith taken down, gets this one away. And this may be grounding. It's going to be number 15, Tyson Johnson. No, excuse me, number 16, Tristan Floney, who got the sack and or pressure. They're going to say he got that one away. So here comes Tyler Presnall back out on the field. Think they got a little bit of magic in them again? Presnall rolls, boots this one away. And this one is going to bounce and take a Thomas County roll and a punt of about 8 yards.
Yeah, really good job that time by the contained man for Thomas County Central, and he came unblocked, and I think that he had to kind of short foot that to get it off.
Yep.
And as a result, you have an 8-yard punt.
So from one special teams play that went Roswell's way to one that doesn't, and now Thomas County Central under 2 minutes to play in the half, and they will get the ball back to start the second half. So a potential huge drive. See the stat comparison through the first quarter and 13 minutes. Almost dead even across the board.
Yeah, if Thomas County Central plays a little make it take it right here.
And they're going to have to come out of a first and 15 hole here in order to do it, though.
But boy, what this could be if they can get down and get points here and then get the ball and get points to start the second half, you really put Roswell in the bind, and of course they don't mind having to score.
Roswell is definitely a team that is built to come from behind. They aren't a team that can't do it. First and 15. Play action, Johnson outside, Watkins cuts back inside. Really nice move, Presnall with the tackle. But it's going to be near a first down, and I think it is going to be a first down.
Yeah, Thomas County Central is just loaded with weapons.
Yeah.
2 weapons on the outside, quarterback, running back. It just...
And Thomas County... No, we've got a down player. And I think that might be Presnall.
Presnall, yep.
You see here the play action. They get it to Watkins quick. And then a really nice move cutting back inside. Got a little bit of a chip there on the chip block from number 47. That was Frank Garbet. Well, now this one is interesting because Presnall handling the punting duties.
Yeah.
You know, you always wonder how deep are these teams when it comes to kickers and punters. Not a traditional punter is Presnall. He's a starting safety. But, you know, sometimes you got those guys that are just kind of good at everything.
Yeah.
He's a safety by trade, but he can kick the ball a mile. So seems to be more or less walking off unfazed. So hopefully just a little shaken up on the play there, we hope, as we have a little bit of technical difficulties. You can see there the score in Gwinnett and Gainesville up 21-0. The remainder of our games, the Flag Division 5 on next Wednesday. It's going to be McEachern and Pope. The private championship game is Calvary Day and Hebron Christian. And the 3A championship is going to be Jefferson and Sandy Creek. And we will conclude the championship games with the 5A championship. It'll be either Thomas County Central or Roswell, the winner of this game, against the winner of Gainesville and Rome. And Thomas County Central looks like they're going to get caught for the false start.
Yeah, Roswell defensively is doing a really good job moving people around and stepping, and Thomas County Central's trying to figure out who's coming and who's not coming and where they're coming from. So this 3-5 defense makes it really tough if you've got a good job, if you can stunt like that and make the offense have to guess.
Yeah, I love the 3-5 defense. It's a buzzsaw when it's run right, and we're seeing it run right tonight by Roswell. But the offense of Thomas County Central has had an answer. We'll see if they have another answer here under 2 minutes to play. Handoff goes for a few. But a nice defensive stop there by the Hornets. Lawrence picks up a few. But it is going to be third down. Third down and 10. Thomas County needs to get it to the Roswell 47 to pick up a fresh set of downs. 46. Here's the drop, here's the throw, over the middle, caught. Watkins tackled by his shoestrings, but not before he gets to the 40. It's Faust on the tackle, but Watkins, as he has done all night, coming up big for the Yellow Jackets again.
Yeah, you got these guys playing man-to-man, and it's a mismatch right now. Receivers are just too good. Too much speed.
This one going out to the outside. Tight end Gary Pringle with the catch. And Pringle has had a nice night as well. Bit quieter night than Dunbar and Watkins on the outside, but just really consistent, getting good chunks of yardage and putting them in good situations, playing really well in the run game blocking as well. Second down and 4. Johnson and empty, and another false start. That's 3 on this drive for Thomas County Central.
Yeah, you can see the frustration on Johnson there when the third time this drive, and you're week 13 and you're wondering what in the world.
So it'll make it a second down and 9 now. Or rather a second down and 9. I don't know why I emphasized second, like that was the thing that changed, but here we are. Here's Johnson rolling out, pitch, Lawrence cuts it back, and a horse collar tackle, and he knew it immediately. Josh Emerson on the tackle, but dragged him down from behind, and you saw him as soon as he came up from it, he had his helmet in his hands. Oh, it's going to be a face mask, actually. Got the hand in on the face mask.
A great cut right here by Pringle. Cuts up inside the block, and then you can see Emerson just leaves his feet. And you don't fault that. He gives it effort, and it's just one of those things that happen.
Yep. But it is going to be a first down for the Yellow Jackets. They have it at the 23. Under 40 seconds to play. Thomas County does have 2 timeouts remaining. And we do have a discussion here. Conversation about the spot, it looks like. And they're going to spot it at the 22. So they're going to officially say it's spotted after the assessment of the penalty. And we're back to ready to play. Johnson with Lawrence in the backfield. Pringle in motion. Johnson rolling. Decides to take it himself. Tight ropes down the sideline and just lost his balance right there at the end and couldn't stay in bounds. And you can tell the frustration because he knew he had the score in front of him if he was able to keep his balance.
And once again, great pressure by Roswell. They just lose contain on the front side of that play, backside. really came pretty clean there.
Yeah, 23 is where it's spotted. It's a loss of a yard. So it'll be second down and 11. Pringle and Watkins to the top. Dunbar, the solo receiver, down here to the boundary. Watkins in motion. They're going to throw it to him on the screen action. Nice job by Watkins to get away because that one was dead to rights in the backfield. A really nice play made there by Roswell, but Watkins doing everything he could to just get what he could. Gets the yard back off of a first down loss and an extra to go with it. 21 is where it's spotted. It'll be third down and 9, and Thomas County Central has called their second timeout to talk things over, preserve the time, and see what they want to do here on third down.
Yeah, that's the second time they've run that play. The last time they ran it went for 6.
Yep.
So a really good job of adjusting by Roswell's defense right there. Corner made a really good play. I thought he was going to pick that ball.
We want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. The Score 58 Network, the NFHS Network, wherever you're watching us from, we want to thank you, whether you're in Roswell, Thomas County Central, anywhere else in the state of Georgia, or anywhere in the world, because it's the internet and it's everywhere, and it's a wonderful thing. So thank you so much for joining us here. I'm Alex Schaefer, joined by Butch Prosser. Hey, look, there's our names. It's right on cue. We got the best graphics team in the business, I'll tell you what. It's third down and 9 after the timeout from Thomas County Central. Roswell, 1 timeout remaining. Thomas County Central, 1 timeout remaining. Johnson takes the shotgun snap. Heavy pressure in his face. Steps up, avoids, tucks it, and they're going to take him down just as he crosses the 20. He has it down to the 18. A gain of 3, but not quite enough. And we'll see what Thomas County Central and Coach Rogers have designed here for 4th and 7. They're going to call a timeout with 1 second left on the clock, and probably going to see, for the first time tonight, the field goal unit. And see Thomas County Central on the road to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Roswell trying to get in the way. Gainesville and Rome are in action across the bracket, and the winners of these 2 respective games will face off next Wednesday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, you know what I found out just the other day? It's a retractable roof on the top of that thing.
Yeah, the center opens up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a straight dome.
Yeah, it's really nice, and when they open up that dome and you see the sky, and it's a really neat place to go. Never been? Come on up. Or come on down, wherever you happen to be.
Or come on over, or, wherever you're coming from. 1.1 on the clock. This will be the final play, barring a defensive penalty. Thomas County Central trying to take their first lead of the game. Kick is up. Kick is wide left and no good. It is going to be a tied ball game, 21-21 at the end of the half. We have got ourselves a barn burner in Thomasville, Georgia. You are not going to want to go anywhere, folks. We've got a 21-21 game with fireworks up and down the field, and this is for all the marbles. Who's going to Atlanta? We will know in 30 short minutes after the halftime break. Got some replays for you. We're going to step away for just a few minutes, but don't go anywhere. We've got the second half of action coming at you in about 15 minutes.
education. Superintendent Dr. Lisa Williams and Principal Mr. Brandon Thompson County projected 2025 Thomas County Central Roll Jacket Band. Under the direction of Major President and Captain Chaplain Maxwell. Building Captain Phil Miller, Brass Captain Patrick Beal, and Letter Brass Captain Cody Williams. The Joint Captains are Master Gibbons, Miles Smith, Parker Williams, and Elizabeth Boston. And Passer Captains are Mike Sherman and Christine Thomas. In here, we invite you to join us on our overnight travel journey, Midnight Clubhood. So get ready to jump in the line and rock your body in time. It's the Thomas County Central High School Band, the best of the net.
So everything's been good over here without the games?
Yeah, I just lose next to
They should have field. Last time during the season, the playoffs, they don't come on the field.
Choose Wendy's 50 Maker.
Let me tell you how we roll on fresh. Where it all came, tomatoes from the vine, not from the can. Fresh guacamole made right in our kitchen, and only the best cuts of fresh grilled chicken. And that's just how we roll.
At Barbaritos, our produce arrives daily, so you can be sure that your food is prepared fresh without any added fats or preservatives. Farm fresh daily. That's just how we roll.
The GHSA football and flag football state championships presented by Apple Insurance will be televised live December 15th to the 17th from Georgia Public Broadcasting from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Also streaming to any device at gpv.org and NAHS Network.
Old alarm battery keeping you up at night? We got it. Need a new laptop battery? We got it. New phone battery? We got it. Watch battery? We got it. New phone screen? We got it. Car remote battery? We got it. We carry batteries for all these devices and can install them right in our store. If you need a battery, we got it. Visit batterysource.com to locate the store nearest you.
Join the conversation at official GHSA social media on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. That's at official GHSA.
Hornets and Roast live with them called is a law firm built on trust. Our clients trust us to provide professional and personal service for all of their legal needs. We provide experience, honesty, and integrity, and we keep you informed. We partner with you and guide you every step of the way, and you can trust us to get results by taking care of business in and out of the courtroom. Call Hornets and Roast Lindquist & Co. where winning is no accident.
Today's game is being broadcast live on NHS Network, the video streaming partner of GHSA and Broadcast Network of High School Sports. Wilson Sport Goods has an unwavering commitment to the game. Their dedication and drive fuels sports on high school fields and in professional stadiums nationwide. Wilson is proud to be the official football partner of GHSA.
CMS Next is connected to our community. We provide communication services to help friends and family. We're connecting with our neighbors to support local causes and events. Connecting our students and schools to available learning resources. We're connecting learning to the latest technology to local customer service. Learn more about our community connections, fast internet, and next bank Wi-Fi. Contact with CMSNext.com.
Tickets to football and flag football state championships at Mercedes-Benz Stadium will be sold exclusively on GoFan, the official digital ticketing provider of the GHSA.
At Stony Creek, we believe that the best memories are made with family and friends having fun in the outdoors. We focus on making the inside of your house a home, not do the same for the outside. We specialize in transforming outdoor living spaces into something that is not just beautiful, but functional and comfortable. Let us help you create a backyard oasis where friends, family, and fun can come together. Stony Creek, we bring your outdoors to life.
Make the right call and become a high school official. There is a shortage of high school officials along with every sport. Protect the integrity of the game you love while helping teenagers in your community on lessons that will last a lifetime. Be a difference maker. Learn more at highschoolofficials.com.
Thomasville Dental Center is proud to support the Thomas County Central Yellow Jackets. With the best family and cosmetic dentistry available, Thomasville Dental Center can rebuild your smile with dental implants. Specializing in sedation dentistry and in-office bleaching, Thomasville Dental Center wants you to know that they care about our community and they look forward to making a difference in your life. Thomasville Dental Center says, go Yellow Jackets.
Call 227-907 Thomasville Medical Center, downtown Thomasville.
The GHSA would like to thank its board of spot partners for their valuable support of Georgia high school athletics and activities. Alpha Insurance, Field Turf, Lifeway, Petwear, Pest Management, Musco Lighting, GoFan, ESN Sports, Gatorade, Chick-fil-A, Georgia Public Broadcasting, Morgan & Morgan, Johnson's, EPI Photography, Dairy Alliance, Ortho Atlanta, Piedmont Orthopedics, NHS Network, Georgia's Electric Membership Cooperatives, and Wilson.
Step up to the plate for your favorite dream. Ghsa with Samantha.
Welcome back into the Jackets Nest. Thomas County Central 21-21 knotted up with Roswell. Our halftime stats, 326 to 250 on total yards. And if not for that final drive that Thomas County Central came away with no points, the yards are almost deadlocked. And it's been a fireworks factory, Butch.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've played games where we didn't give up that for the whole game.
Yeah.
I mean, 326 yards and a half is just outstanding offensive football. And, 250 yards, 21 points for both teams. It's just been a up and down the field. It's just a race to see who can get there, and explosive offensive plays from both teams.
Yeah, we were talking about it before we came on when we had our technical difficulties. We were watching the game before we were able to come on and start calling it, and you and I we were talking. It feels like this is going to be one of those games where it comes down to who has the ball last, and Thomas County Central with an excellent opportunity there to take the lead, what would have been their first lead in the game. Could have played some make it, take it, gotten the 3 on the board, and then they're going to receive the opening kickoff here in just a moment. But, Roswell standing tall. They were able to force them into what was a long field goal, and you missed it wide left, and you got 21-21, a game that Thomas County Central, what'd you say, 56 they've been averaging in the playoffs?
Yeah.
And, they haven't led the entire game here at home.
Yeah, it's, it's not like we're not seeing any defense. We're seeing pretty good defense. We're seeing a lot of athletes and a lot of big plays. Quarterbacks making throws and receivers getting open and then breaking tackles and going the distance. So it's just been a heck of a game and a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, and defensively, we had that big fourth down stop, fourth and inches. Roswell got the stop. Thomas County Central was a hair's breadth away from a pick six themselves. And, there have been some defensive stops and some defensive plays, but it really does feel like the offenses are going to be the story of the night here by the end of this one. But we will see how that continues. Roswell, hey, guess what? He kicked it out of the end zone again.
Again, which doesn't seem to be a problem. Thomas County Central has no problem going 80 yards.
Yeah, all 3 of their touchdown drives have been 80-yarders. So 24-0 Gainesville leads Rome right now. That's at the half there, and that's going to be the other half of the bracket. The 5A state champion is going to come out of one of these 2 games. It's going to be either Gainesville or Rome. Whoever wins that one, Gainesville in firm control of that. And then the winner of that one will take on the winner of our game here tonight in a little less than a week, next Wednesday. Here's the handoff to Lawrence, spin move, and a nice run here on first down. It's going to set him up with a 2nd and manageable, 2nd and 4 after 6 yards on the carry.
Well, you knew what we were getting into tonight when you got one team that was 13-0, the other was 12-1, and that one defeat was to Buford.
Yeah.
So, not like we're seeing bad football teams tonight.
Now you got the number 3 team, Thomas County Central, against the number 5 team in the state of Georgia.
Oh, big
nice
play.
Hurdle there for Lawrence. Big block downfield, springs him, and it's going to be a first down for the future Demon Deacon. And it's 3 and 5 in the country. In the state. It's like 30 and 42 in the country. These are 2 top 50 teams in the nation, and they're playing like it right now tonight.
Yeah, a lot of good athletes. A lot of good athletes have come from these programs.
It'll be a fresh set of downs for the Yellow Jackets. Handoff goes to Lawrence. He's got another big play here. Faust takes him down, but not before a first down. 10 yards on the nose for Christian Lawrence. He's got a rushing touchdown in the game. He's got 22 on the year, and he's came into the game with 1,500 yards rushing, but I'm sure he's up over 1,600 now at this point. He's had a really nice night for the Yellow Jackets here on a crisp Thursday evening in Thomasville. Here's quarterback Johnson, pitches it outside, And Lawrence is going to take it for a few.
I mean, you just watch the offenses, and it's the offensive line does an outstanding job blocking, but then you see these wide receivers down the field blocking down the field, which makes for big plays.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. No block, no rock. Well, it's been a game of blocking for both of these teams as we experience a little bit of technical difficulties. Sorry for the hiccups here in this one that we've been experiencing. Just the glories of live television. Here's Johnson firing, caught out into the flat area. It is going to be Watkins with a big play. No, excuse me, that's Dunbar. You know, one or the other.
Yeah.
Pick your poison. Dunbar, the big 6'5" senior wide receiver, will be a Pitt Panther next year. 11 touchdowns on the year, 600 yards. Jabari Watkins, number 4 at the top, the other star receiver for Thomas County Central. We're going to get an official timeout.
It's like the chains broke. Somebody stepped on the chains as they were going by, and the chains broke.
So while we have a moment, we'll take a look at our championship games coming up next week. On Monday, you got the 2 flag championship games for Division I and Division II, Washington County and Harris County, Jenkins and Greenbrier. And you got a Division II, Bowden and Lincoln County. And the night game is the 4A matchup, Creekside versus Benedictine. Then on Tuesday, got 2 more flag, Division III and Division IV with Whitewater, North Oconee, Milton and Blessed Trinity. The A Division I game, Toombs County versus Worth County. The 2A game, Hateville versus Carver Columbus. And then the 6A game, the one everybody's been waiting for, Carrollton versus Buford Carlton. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air flash. So after they get the chains fixed, it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 37. Roswell showing heat. They bring it. And the handoff is going to go for a few, about 3 yards on the carry. That's Jordan McNeil taking the carry for Thomas County Central on that one. Gain of about 3 is going to make a second down and 8. Officially a gain of 2 on the play. Johnson hands it off again. Lawrence outside, breaks a tackle. He's got it 20, 10, in for the score. Thomas County Central takes their first lead of the night, and it is Christian Lawrence with his 2nd rushing touchdown tonight.
And that was 80 yards, and they just made it look easy. You know, never a doubt. We're just going to come right at you. You better be ready, because we're just going to line up, knock you off the football, and here we come.
Thomas County Central right now, they've got a pair of studs offensively that are going to be playing in the ACC next year. Christian Lawrence going to Wake Forest. Rodney Dunbar, who we talked about before, he had the big first down catch and run, and he had the touchdown catch earlier in the night. He's going to be going to Pitt. So the ACC going to be getting a couple of Georgia's finest. So we see the replay here, the handoff, just great blocking up front. Just give him a little bit of a seam, and he is gone.
Yeah, runs through a tackle right here on the line of scrimmage. The linebacker can't get over the top, and it's off to the races.
Yeah, and really nice job there by the center. That was Artem Korchigan. He's going to be going to South Alabama next year, and it was a really nice job of not holding the linebacker, letting him go once he had crossed his face, but he held him up just long enough that it gave Lawrence that crease and the ability to break the tackle. And because he was so far downfield blocking on it, because he got such a good push, it created that trash that the linebacker couldn't scrape over the top of. So really, really nice blocking there from the center going to South Alabama next season.
You can see the drive summary: 7 plays, 80 yards, 6 rushing attempts for 65 yards, 1 pass for 15 yards, end result touchdown. And Thomas County Central goes up 28-21. So we'll see now. Thomas County Central has answered every time Roswell has scored. We'll see what Roswell does here.
This kick is going to be fielded at the 5, right out across the 20, and a nice return for Drake Ghsa.
Will be interesting to see. Thomas County Central kind of came back and said, we're going to run the football. We're going to establish our run, and they pounded it right down the field. We will see what Roswell is going to do to try to hang their hat on something on offense.
Roswell with the pre-snap shift. Trey Smith, quick throw, off the hands, nearly intercepted, but it is going to fall harmlessly to the turf. Kobe Carnage almost took that one away. And what an outstanding football name he's got.
Yeah, that was almost disaster for Roswell right there.
So after the incompletion, it's going to be 2nd down and 10 from the 25. Here's the handoff, and this one is going nowhere. So some halftime adjustments showing early for the Thomas County Central defense, as it's going to be a 3rd down and 9. Andrews coming off the field after making that play. One of their top defensive ends, 8 sacks on the year for Isaiah Andrews there. App State, ECU, USF, and Liberty among the schools that have been courting him. He is a junior and part of an outstanding defensive front. So here's a quick throw. This is Campbell. He's got it outside, tries to make someone miss, but can't get away. There is a flag thrown. And so we will check this one, but as of right now, it is going to be a 4th down. And it'll be an eligible receiver downfield.
That had to have been somebody lined up. One of the two wide receivers covered each other up, because quick as that ball came out, there's no way a lineman got down the field.
Right. And I wonder if that might have been designed for Campbell to have caught it behind the line, because I don't think it can't be ineligible downfield if it's caught behind the line.
No.
So, but a little bit of a misexecution, and it's going to back them up. So they will take the penalty, will Thomas County Central, give them another down.
I'm not sure why I would take that penalty. You'd have been 4th and 4.
Roswell steps up, caught by Campbell, and Campbell's going to get the first. So Thomas County Central accepts the penalty, gives Roswell life, and Campbell makes him hurt for it.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you take that penalty when you're going to have them in a 4th down situation and backed up deep in their own territory.
Here's Trey Smith on the quarterback keeper, and he's going to run ahead for 4, taken down at the 40. And Smith had a really nice escape on the previous play, able to get away from the rush and find his number 1 receiver for the 1st down. And there's the buzz of the Yellow Jacket getting loud now. Second down and 7. Motion outside, handoff to Peel, and nowhere for Peel to go. Andrews in on the stop along with Omari Stevenson. So Andrews came up hobbled a couple plays ago, came off the field, but He's back in there and doesn't seem to be slowed down at all. And Amari Stevenson has been all over the field all season and all night for Roswell. 12 tackles for loss coming into this one. He just got another one there. And the future Kennesaw State Owl comes up big for the for the Thomas County Central defense. So another third down play on the drive for Roswell, 3rd and 6. So they gained 1, so I take it back. He didn't get another tackle for loss on that one, but still a really nice play. Pump fake.
Oh, he's going to
escaping, and this one is scooped. They haven't blown it dead. Yes, they have.
Wow.
So I guess they're going to say that one was coming forward, but I would be surprised to see that this doesn't go as an intentional grounding. So we have some technical difficulties. We apologize, obviously, for that. We've been working to try and keep things steady for you all night long here, but, you know, the beauty of technology at times is it kind of doesn't work with you when you want it to. So we will continue to talk here. And we're getting snaps and shots and able to see some things. So if we run into technical difficulties like that again, we're just going to continue to talk and kind of talk through what we're able to see. It's going to be a punt for Roswell, though, as the 4th down play. Looks like they didn't call any grounding on that one. They're going to say it was just an incomplete pass. But Presnall not in to punt. This one is kicked away, and it's a really nice punt. Campbell scoops that one up, and that was Ballant Vorasmarty. He's normally the place kicker for him. He's a senior going to Georgia State next year, and with Presnall out, he came on and punted, and he
did a great job right there. This is kind of danger time now for Roswell.
Yep.
They've got to get a stop. You really don't want to go down 2 scores. I think you kind of not slowed these guys down a whole lot all night. So.
And if you're Thomas County Central, you feel pretty good about what's going on for you right now. Last drive, 6 runs for 65 yards. Here's the quick strike. It's Pringle. And a nice tackle in the open field made for Roswell. I believe that was Caden Perry on the tackle.
Yeah, really nice tackle right there in the open field.
But again, Pringle being just a really nice safety outlet for the quarterback. Jalen Johnson, it's a 5-yard gain, or a 4-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Some checks being made by the center. Now here's the snap. Handoff. Lawrence has it outside. Popped, but driven back. But it's going to be a first.
Yeah, you can't say enough.
Oh, no, actually, it's going to be a 3rd down.
How well these teams are coached and you see both teams making all kind of adjustments and checks and talks and
yeah, and you said it, Roswell, you said earlier, they do a really good job of pre-snap movement defensively. A nice stem right there we saw just now on this play. And that 3-3-5 is an absolute buzzsaw if you don't know how to handle it. But up front, Thomas County Central has done a really good job all night. Here's another deep shot, one-on-one coverage. Watkins nearly had it. Great makeup there from the defender.
And you'll see great
they brought
pressure.
Everybody on that one.
Great pressure right here.
Johnson steps up, fires, and Watkins almost made what would have been one of the most spectacular catches I think I've probably ever seen. I think that was Presnall in coverage. It was. We saw, actually, you know what? That was the same as the first play of the game we saw from them where they got the defensive pass interference. They just lined up Watkins in the slot, and I think that was Presnall on the hold as well. Here's a boot of a punt. It's going to check up and roll, and it's going to go dead at about the 35. So you called it. Coach, needed a big stop there on defense, and Roswell got one.
Yeah, now it's, that's kind of unusual. We didn't see a whole lot of that in the first half.
414 yards Thomas County Central is up to already. 270 as Roswell closes in on the 300 mark. And
wow,
they're going to.
It's a heck of an offensive night. I'm going to promise you, as defensive coordinator, you're just shaking your head going, what can I do?
Well, these two teams are going to combine for about enough yards to get them to Mercedes-Benz Stadium on the ground. Here's Campbell in motion. Roswell has it, hands it off. Peel cuts it back inside, and a nice run there for Peel as he gets it out to the 45. He's going to be just shy of the first down, it looks like, but a nice 9-yard gain on first. And
really good cut.
Roswell going with speed. Here's the snap. Smith fires. Campbell nearly caught, but an outstanding play defensively for Thomas County Central to knock that one away. I think that was Donnell Jester who got in the way of that one. I think Jester was the one who almost had the pick six earlier as well, so he's shown a real knack for jumping the football. But good thing for Thomas County Central that he was able to knock that one away, because otherwise Campbell is probably still running.
Yeah.
So it'll be a 3rd down and 1. Heavy backfield. It's going to be a straight run from quarterback Trey Smith, and he's got the first across the 50.
Yeah, anytime Roswell has been short yardage, they've gone to that quarterback ISO and just mauled people up front.
And that's number 69 for Roswell, Miller Westerfield, a junior offensive lineman, 6'6", who has to come out of the game. Looked like he lost his helmet, and so helmet comes off, you got to come out for one play. And I think he was trying to state his case that he had it taken off, but didn't get the call from the refs. Here's Smith, steps up, fires. Did he catch that football?
Catch. Boy, I would hate to be a defensive back tonight trying to cover any of these receivers. I mean, that's just an unbelievable catch right there. You can't make any better coverage than that.
Eddie Ghsa was in perfect phase, and Wills Campbell just made a circus catch, jumping, spinning, and
I don't know how he saw the ball.
I don't either.
I mean, that was great coverage right there.
Some outstanding catch for a first down for Campbell. And the Hornets are into the red zone. Smith directing traffic. Here's Campbell on the motion. Smith takes it himself. Goes to cut it outside, but a nice play there on the edge by the defense of Thomas County Central, rallying to him. He's going to pick up about 3. But it could have been a lot more.
Yeah, it looked like if he hits it outside a little quicker, he may have been still running.
Yeah. But as it stands, it'll be a 2nd down and long. Oh, I stand corrected. He only got 1 off of it. 2nd and 9 is what the down and distance will be. 2-back set. Peel and Ghsa. Peel will motion out. And we're going to get a flag, as it looked like there was movement on the offensive line while Peel was in motion. So false start on Roswell. I believe that's their first false start of the night. Thomas County Central has had several, which is the opposite of what you would expect. You know, the home team false starting, but the away team handling the buzz of the Yellow Jackets all right. 65 yards and penalties for Roswell, 50 for Thomas County Central. But the biggest one of the night was the Roswell offsides that gave Thomas County a fresh set of downs and kept the drive alive that they ended up then going and scoring on. This one's going to go incomplete as Trey Smith tries to avoid and get to Sean Smith, his tight end.
Big 3rd down here for both these teams.
2:52 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Light graphic. Here's the short motion. Smith fires over the middle, just a little high for Campbell. Jester in coverage with Campbell on that one. And it is going to be a 4th down, and looks like the field goal team is coming onto the field. Ballant, Laura Smarty, one of the top kickers in the state. His holder will be Morgan Mirabella. The snapper will be Seth Lerner. Here's the kick. And it's going to go wide right. So both times on this end of the field, the goalposts not being kind to the kickers of both squads. An exchange of missed field goals is going to keep Thomas County Central in the lead, 28-21.
Well, a really good drive there for nothing for Roswell, and when you get down there against in these games especially, you got to get points, or you really need to get points. And we've seen both teams now get down into the red zone and miss field goals. So,
well, especially considering that it's just coming off of a defensive stop.
Yeah,
and those have been few and far between in this game. You never know when your next one is gonna come up for you, so you really have to take advantage when you get those stops. Here's a handoff to Lawrence, going to cut it back inside, and tackle is made, but not before a nice gain there on 1st down. The carry is out across the 25.
Really good cut
at the 26
back there.
for a 6-yard gain for Lawrence.
Yeah, he makes a really good cut coming back inside.
Wholesale shift from quads into a heavy pistol. Johnson, the quarterback. Snap, hand it. Lawrence bounces it. And a really nice tackle made by Faust. It's going to be a 1st down, but it could have been a lot more.
Yeah, Roswell's having a hard time with that. They're pulling the tackle in the wing back there, and boy, a lot of bodies coming through the hole. Everybody on the play side blocks down and creates a lot of space there for the running backs to go.
1st down. And we got to stop and play here. It looks like they might be working to reset the chains. Have everything set now, and Thomas County Central ready to go. But first, we're going to get another false start on Thomas County Central. So it'll be 1st and 15. It feels like it's been all night.
Yeah, I wonder if the center may have moved that ball or something, because I didn't see a.
Yeah. So 1st and 15 now after the procedural penalty. Here's the handoff. They're going to stay with Lawrence to the outside. And he's going to have it out very close to the 40. I'm going to say he got the 41, it looked like was where he was walking in at. And if he got it to the 40, no. Oh, wow. That's way further back than I thought it was. Must have stepped out earlier than I thought. It's going to be a 36 is the spot. And that'll bring it to 2nd down and 4. Play action. Here's the quick throw, and it's Watkins. And if not for an outstanding open field tackle by Caden Perry, that is going to be the exact same play they scored on earlier to Watkins.
Yeah, really good job with the play fake right there. Linebackers are all jumped up playing the run. Corners and safeties are on islands playing man-to-man, and a really good tackle right there.
Another big change. Here's the motion. Play action again, taking the shot. And Watkins had a step on Presnall, but Johnson just kind of pulled the trigger a little bit too early and laid it out to him too far. And that's one that Johnson's going to want that one back because he knew he had him.
Yeah, you got these big-time receivers, and they're going against strong safeties, and it's a mismatch.
Yeah, they got the matchup that they wanted, but Johnson just a little bit off. So the second down play now. Hands it off to running back, cuts it back, and a nice play there for Thomas County Central. It's McNeil on the carry, and the sophomore has a first down for the Yellow Jackets.
They caught Roswell blitzing everybody from the strong side, and nobody set the edge. Nobody was on.
Although we do have a flag down.
Looks like we're going to have a hold, I would bet.
That might explain why he got so free to the outside. And it is indeed going to be holding against the offense, TCC. And as time winds down here in the third quarter, we want to thank you for joining us here, Score 58 Network on the NFHS Network. We've got ourselves a good one here from Thomasville, Georgia. Thomas County Central leading Roswell 28-21. The winner goes on to Atlanta to play for the state championship next week. Second and long for TCC. Here's Johnson rolling, looking, avoiding, fires, and overshoots his target. Try to get it to Watkins. Looked like Watkins was coming back to him to give him a target, but he just overthrows him.
Good coverage downfield that time, and pretty good protection there by Thomas County Central, but you can only hold that ball so long before you got to get out of the pocket.
Yep, 30 seconds on the clock. It's going to be a third down, and looks like 18. So we'll see what Coach Rogers has dialed up here for the third and very long. Snap, handoff. Lawrence has it. Big time block outside. Cuts outside. He's got a first. He's got the sideline. He's got the end zone. It's Thomas County Central again.
Wow.
Christian Lawrence to the house. 3 touchdowns on the night for the senior. And the future Demon Deacon puts his stamp on this one. 34-21. Thomas County Central leads. And with the way that they've been playing defense in the second half, that really feels like it could have been a dagger.
And, boy, that's a backbreaker for if you're Roswell. You've got them 3rd and 18 and give up a touchdown there.
The extra point is going to be good just inside the left goalpost. Carson Morales.
On the replay here, a great cut, and then 2 good blocks down the field. Runs through arm tackle and into the end zone.
Well, there's Faust there, the last man who had a shot at him, and you can see right up here at the top, a really nice job there by Tyrone Everett, the junior wide receiver out there. He got just enough of him so that it wasn't a hold, but that it created that little bit of daylight that he needed to be able to break the tackle. Faust had no shot at him. 7 plays, 95 yards. That feels wrong. I guess because it was 95 yards of offense because of penalties. It wasn't a 95-yard scoring drive, but a lot of yards offensively because of penalties on that one. And Thomas County Central, you know, it's still, there's still plenty of time in this one. We're about to hit the fourth quarter. But, man, you said it, a backbreaker of a touchdown run on what was a 3rd and 18, and it really feels like that one sucked the air out for Roswell. But, you know, we talked about it. Thomas County Central, something that they did all night long is they answered. Roswell yet to answer after Thomas County Central has taken the lead. We will see if they're able to here to cut this one back down to a one-score game.
Yeah, not only was it 3rd and 18, but you gave up a 60-yard run. That just kills you when you're trying to, on this level, and you're playing against a team of this caliber. And one missed tackle, one arm tackle, and you're not going to make any of these guys down. You're not going to get them down with an arm tackle. If you're not using shoulder and helmets and everything else and getting lots of help, you're in trouble.
Yep. Here comes Campbell in motion. He's going to go with the full orbit. Here's the handoff to Peel. Drops the shoulder, but is taken down after a modest gain. Eugene Ware on the tackle for Thomas County Central. And it looks like they're giving a signal to somebody in the crowd, maybe the band or whoever it was. Somebody's making noise. I think it's the band. Yep, and that's a good call by Roswell.
Yeah.
It's a 15-yard penalty now that they've had the warning. So, you know what it always drove me crazy being in the booth whenever coaches wouldn't say something about the band that was playing for the other team, and I'd be up there in the booth just screaming and hollering. It's 3 yards. Like this, they're not supposed to do that. Let's take it when it's there. But the end of the 3rd quarter has arrived. It is 15 minutes to glory for the Thomas County Central Yellow Jackets as they look to punch their ticket to Atlanta and face either Gainesville or Rome in the state championship game next Wednesday. But Roswell, the Hornets have it, and the Hornets have been battlers all year long. Their lone loss, as you said, was to Buford, the number 5 team in the country. That's nothing to.
No, nothing to be ashamed about at all.
No, not at all.
So can they respond here? You can see the 3rd quarter stats.
And the 323-yard game through 3 quarters is outstanding, but the big number there that really is the difference maker, 282 rushing yards, a difference of almost 200 yards on the ground for Thomas County Central.
Yeah.
And they came out in the second half, and they made a concerted effort. We are going to run the football. We are going to shorten this game, and we are going to go to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And they're 15 minutes away from doing just that, Butch.
Yeah, 509 yards.
12 minutes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been saying 15 this whole time. 15, 30, and Nice run here, and then a backward pass on the pitch.
Really good job out there by Trayvon Pringle. He slow plays this, and the quarterback really has no place to go. Good pursuit from the inside out, and you end up with a loss of 4.
Trayvon Pringle, future Jacksonville State Gamecock. Had to think about that for a second. Yeah. Another outstanding senior linebacker on this Thomas County defense.
Big 3rd down for Roswell.
3rd and 8 now. Here comes the heat. Smith avoids, fires, and incomplete, trying to get it to Campbell, the safety valve, but Pringle was right on top of him. I don't know that he goes anywhere even if he makes the catch. It's going to be an incomplete pass, and it's going to bring out the punt team for Roswell.
Really good pressure right there, which disrupted any kind of chemistry they may have had on that play, and it may have been it's definitely not what Roswell needed or wanted.
And what Roswell needs right here is another big punt from Vora Smarty. And they got it, but this one's going to be returned. Oh, my goodness. Thomas County Central with an opportunity. A huge special teams play. 20-10. Can he get in? He can! Thomas County Central scores on the punt return. It is DJ White, number 21.
What a big play there. That one probably the nail in the coffin right there. 50-yard punt return.
I was hoping our camera would stay right there with them. They got two 21s on the roster. I went with the one that plays offense. So that was either DJ White or Zy Jordan Wynn. Of course, the Jordan Wynn is a corner, and they return kicks a lot too. So
Either way, they're both coming back next year also. So.
Yep.
And now.
Kick is good. And 42-21 in a flash.
And you can see the one missed tackle, and then it was to the house.
It is the first punt return we have had tonight, and it is White. Caught the name on the back of the jersey there at the end. Yes. So you don't have to mute me in the highlight package. I called it right.
Good blocks down the field. And then just lowers his shoulder and gets in.
DJ White, a sophomore for Thomas County Central with just backbreaker, backbreaker after backbreaker after backbreaker for this Thomas County Central attack. I can't even say offensive attack because it's all three phases. Special teams has just shown up here. And, they always talk about it. It's three phases of the game, and Kirby Smart is one of the ones that talks about it the most, that it's in these kinds of games, it's usually a big special teams play that is really a difference maker.
Yeah,
and that's an example of it right there. These games that are, I know it was a 2-score game, but it felt tighter than a 2-score game.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden a special teams play, and it's just
right now you're 3 scores down, and they've scored 21 points in just over a quarter. It just shows the explosiveness of this offense. They scored 70 points in their first round playoff game. So
they got 21 points, 28 are unanswered.
And that's just, they did the same thing last week. They scored 35 unanswered points last week. So they're not worried they get down 1 or 2. They're coming back. They know they've got the big play potential and the players that can go. And now if you're Roswell, you really got to suck up deep and you got to make some plays.
First down and 10 from the 19-yard line. Trey Smith, the outstanding quarterback, motions his running back out of the backfield. He's empty. He rolls, fires. This one's caught by Campbell, and he's going to be taken down, though. They'll give him forward progress, but a really nice tackle in the open field made by Kobe Carnage. And Kobe has been causing carnage for Roswell all night. But a nice play on first down. Sets him up with a second and short. Smith fires, sideline, and that one's too high. Pass was intended for Dre Ghsa. They couldn't quite get it to him. And so it'll be third down now for the Roswell offense. And for a team that's down 3 scores here in the fourth quarter, there's not really the sense of urgency that we saw even from them early in the game. Quarterback keeper on this one, and he's not going to get enough. It's going to be fourth down. Omari Stevenson with the burst of emotion there at the end.
Yeah, you got to go for it here. 4th and 1.
Here's the quarterback run. And he's going to get free to the outside, and he's going to get the first down. They had him bottled up.
Wow,
But that veteran instinct.
Yeah, he almost squirted out the backside.
Trey Smith with just outstanding fortitude and relentless will. Quarterback number 1, Trey Smith, he's at that stage of the game where he's saying, all right, boys, get on my back.
Yeah.
And he's going to try. If he has to do it himself, he's going to try. Here's the motion out of the backfield. Smith drops, fires. High throw.
He has no time. He got drilled. He threw that ball. Number 9 right there. Cam Brooks comes off the edge unblocked and just unloads on Smith as he goes throw that ball.
Yeah, Cam Brooks, the future Seminole, Florida State next year. 10.5 sacks on the year, leads the team. And I haven't called his name a whole lot, but Prince Che, want to shout him out. Number 93 in the middle has been outstanding. Hasn't been making a whole lot of plays, but he's been creating a lot of plays for the players around him. And that's something you really need on every good defense. Here's the quarterback run. And that one is going to go for a short gain as it just passed the 40. And it's 3rd down once again for the Roswell offense. Smith drops, rolls, fires. Deep shot.
What a catch.
And Campbell does it again.
Oh, my goodness.
There were 2 defenders that had a chance at that one. Jermaine Dennis jumped in front of it. Kobe Carnage over the top. And Campbell just
goes up and makes these
said, give me that. Smith on the keeper. Cuts it back to the middle. And it's going to be a gain of about 3 or 4.
Campbell has made some catches tonight that just unbelievable. I mean, he double covered there and goes up between the 2 and comes down with it. So
Wills Campbell, the 6'2" senior for Roswell. It's got a touchdown catch tonight. It was his 14th of the year. He's up over 1,400 yards, having a conversation with his quarterback right now. And he's back out wide. Peel in motion. Just a quick throw to the outside. Another one of those little quick tight end screen flat kind of quick hitters. Gets that one to Sean Smith, the talented sophomore tight end. And it is Smith that's down.
It's going to be a replay of the catch by Campbell. You can see there are 2 Thomas County Central defenders right there, and he just goes up and makes the catch.
And you really can't play that much better than that.
No.
Defensively, that's...
Yeah, I mean, they've got him bracketed. They've got 1 in front and 1 in back, and he just still goes up and makes the catch.
And as a DC, what do? You say, I
nice.
know he's their best player, and I'm bracketing him, and I still can't get the stop.
Yeah, you go, nice catch, son. You're a heck of a player.
Yeah.
That's all you can say. Yeah, I've played against some of those in my day or coached against some, and after the game, you just go over and shake your hand and go, you're better than us.
Yep. Sean Smith came off the field under his own power, so that's good to see. He's going to be a big-time player for them in years to come as time winds down in this one, and you feel like it's time winding down on the Roswell season. But, again, 12-1, their only loss to Buford, and if this one holds, it'll only be their 2nd loss as we have an official timeout. You know, and you got a game, you've got a season where, Smith tried to go back in. But you got a season where, again, if this holds, you got 2 losses on the year. One of them is to Buford, who could very well be the 6A champions. And the other one is Thomas County Central, who very well could be the 5A champions.
Yep.
Here's the cutback. Nice run by Peel as he's going to get a first down. That keeps the drive alive for Roswell and their hopes alive as well, as they have it now into the red zone. Quarterback keeper, Smith, dragged down.
Stevenson makes a tackle. I don't know where he. Wow.
There is a flag. It's way back there. I don't know if this is going to be where the face mask was thrown from. Oh, illegal motion. Or illegal shift, rather.
Yeah, wow.
So, big play wiped out there on I didn't see the hand get up there, but the way he was spun around, you have to, I don't know how that wasn't a face mask. But doesn't really matter because it's going to be a first down and 15 after the illegal shift.
Yeah, Roswell's got to score, and they really need to score sooner than later here.
Here's Smith in motion, looks to be okay after being banged up a couple plays ago. Smith to the outside, trying to get away, and he's going to get maybe back to the original line of scrimmage for a 5-yard gain, if that.
Thomas County Central this half is just defensively say, we're coming to get you.
Yeah.
We're not going to sit back and let you throw it. We're coming to get you, and Smith has been throwing it. And here they come again. A lot of folks out there.
What a tackle made there in the open field. It's Omari Stevenson once again. And a huge play made because that was a really good play call there to get it to the safety valve, the back out of the backfield against heavy pressure, and he was one-on-one. And if not for that tackle, it's about to be a Roswell score. And here's Smith. Here he goes. It might be a score anyway. He lowers the shoulder, and Trey Smith goes in for the score. So that cuts the lead down to 2 scores. And Roswell saying we are not going quietly into that good night.
Yeah, we're not gonna sit down and just let you enjoy this. We're gonna make you work for it, and it's been a battle all night. Now you're guessing,
right down the middle for Vora Smarty.
You're guessing here. You're going to see an onside kick.
Yeah, I think you have to with 2 scores.
Yeah. There's a
really nice block there on the perimeter.
And Smith just lowers his shoulder and says, I'm getting in. Yeah, this peak with this block. It is.
Yeah, Peel there.
Peel, he's done a really good job all night with that. Really good job, and that gets him in the end zone, and maybe too little too late.
But you never know. We've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah, you've got to get 2 onside kicks, basically.
Or a takeaway.
Yeah. And that's,
But we have seen that, Roswell can score in bunches.
Right.
And so it's 13 plays on the drive, though. That's when you're down 3 scores, that's not really what you want to see. You want to see a bit more urgency and score faster. But, they got on the board, and they've given themselves at least a shot here to, are they gonna kick this thing off? No, they're. Oh, a surprise onside kick, and it's not going to be enough.
Wow.
It was a good attempt at it, but he just didn't quite put enough spin on it. And I wonder, You know, you said this earlier on in the game. I wonder how much that has to do with it being grass instead of turf. The difference in the way that the ball reacts to the ground.
Right.
We talked about it. Roswell plays most, if not all, of their games on turf. This is the first, or if not the first, it's one of very few games that they've played on grass. Now, I think they called them offsides, and so
that's a good thing for Roswell because they get to redo. Because if they had not called them off, they just called the ball not going 10 yards. That's not a penalty. Thomas County Central just gets the ball there. Looks like Thomas County Central is going to call a timeout.
I like that. That's a good timeout there by Coach Rogers to really talk things over and see what they're going to do. I'd be surprised if they don't bring some of their upbacks up and really try to create a stronger up front line presence.
Yeah.
Knowing that obviously that we now see the surprise onside is in their bag of tricks. A traditional onside kick could also be on the table, but if you put two, maybe even one back deep, okay, kick it over our heads. We'll take it and go from the 20. But
as long as we get the ball, that's all they care about at this point.
Absolutely.
And we saw this last week with the LaGrange Sandy Creek game. LaGrange did a great job, and it's something the kicker has to practice.
Yes.
And if they don't practice it, they're not going to be very good at it. And the kid last week from LaGrange did just an outstanding job. And that's something we always had our kickers practice, because they can practice that. They can put it up there and practice by themselves. They don't need anybody else. And
so now after the onside, the offside on the onside attempt, Boris Marty is going to line up like he's going to kick it deep here. And he is. And this one's going to go into the end zone, and 5 yards is nothing for Forrest Smarty. He says, all right, I'll just kick it into the end zone then.
Yeah, I'm not sure I understand the philosophy there, though. You're 2 scores down. You've not stopped them this half. You've got to take chances at this point. But they're in the state semifinals, and I'm sitting here in the warm confines of the studio. So they do have all 3 timeouts left. So
and so we are, currently experiencing some more technical difficulties. But we are going to work to get you back to action here as soon as possible. It is Thomas County Central with a 42-28 lead, 2 scores ahead of Roswell here in the state semifinal for 5A in Georgia. 6:50 on the clock. And Thomas County Central could bleed a lot of this clock away right now.
Yeah.
And really put this one away. Here's the handoff now. Nice cut from Lawrence, and you can see right there they're stripping, they're ripping, they're doing everything they can to try and get that ball out. So Lawrence is going to have to be really, really secure with the football.
And both these teams have been tremendous tonight. We've had no turnovers in this game.
Yeah, really, and the only real, what I would classify as a sudden change was the 4th down stop.
Yeah.
Was really the only sudden change type of situation. Really nice cut there from Lawrence again, and he's got the first. And on 2 plays, already a minute has been chewed off the clock for Thomas County Central. And they're going to try to put this one to bed here pretty early, which is good for me because it's after my bedtime. So.
Yeah, it's things don't look good if you're a Roswell Hornet fan right here. They're going to keep this one on the ground, and
and they're going to let their bell cow Lawrence just take them to glory.
Yeah, they're going to use all 40 seconds of the play clock, and
we're going to put the ball in Lawrence's hands and
looks like Roswell
have him run all the way to Atlanta.
Yeah, looks like got an injured player on the field here.
So while we have a moment here with the injury timeout, I was thinking, you talked about the game last week. You mentioned how they had a kid who was pretty good at the onside kick. I've thrown this idea around to some folks, and I've been thinking a lot about it. I think the onside kick needs to just go away. I think they need to get rid of the onside kick even as a thing, because it's just it's my problem with the onside kick as the means of regaining possession is it doesn't work. It's a less than 10% conversion rate. It's not a thing that works, which is fine in a vacuum. But the problem for me is that in a 2-score game, it makes that drive where you're trying to get the score to cut it to a 1-score game, it just makes it so meaningless because you're not going to get the onside kick as Lawrence takes this one and just barrels ahead. It's going to be close to another first down. And so it just, for me, it's all about that previous drive is what the downfall of it is it really just kind of makes it meaningless that, yeah, we went down and scored, right, all right, hooray, but why? It doesn't really matter. We're not going to get the onside kick, not going to get the ball back. I have bounced around the idea. I know a lot of people like the 4th and 20.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, if you're
I like it a little bit better because it's at least it's a play. Like you're running a real play. It's still tough to convert, but you're running a real play that is not just kind of. Let's be honest. The onside kick is really. Here's Lawrence, 40, 30, cuts it back, 10, and he's gonna go in. 4 touchdowns for Christian Lawrence.
Wow.
And Christian Lawrence putting that one to bed. And the Yellow Jackets look like they are going to take their 14-0 record into Atlanta next week. Christian Lawrence with his 25th touchdown of the year on the ground. And with the extra kick, it is going to be 49 for the Jackets. What an outstanding cut at the start of that run. He cut it back against the original run lane. Then he broke the tackle and outran everyone else to the end zone. Faust giving chase for Roswell. He's had an outstanding game defensively for the Hornets, but just a sheer display of dominance in this second half for the Thomas County Central Yellow Jackets. Offense and defense, 5 plays, 80. It's another 80-yard scoring drive for Thomas County Central. Stop me if you heard this one before, right? And it's all on the ground, all Lawrence, and Thomas County Central. I haven't seen Gainesville play.
Well, I was just looking. They won tonight, 37-7. Their 2 losses to Roswell by 2, and to Carrollton.
And
So, and
like Roswell lost to Buford, that's
Right.
the number one team in the country,
Right.
according to some rankings. And
well,
hey, if you didn't know, there's some pretty good darn football in the state of Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, if you're going to beat this group from Thomasville, you better be pretty good because they've got a boatload of weapons. They play, and I mean, you know, they've scored 49 points tonight, and that's 10 below their playoff average. But, you know, they're doing this in the semifinals, not like it's in the first round.
Yeah. So Roswell will take over, about 4.5 left to play in this one. And we're going to get an official timeout here. So doubling back to our onside kick conversation. The other thing I thought about was, because I don't want to take even more special teams emphasis out of the game. So my idea was, if you're trailing in the fourth quarter, you can go for an extra point. You can go for a 2-point conversion as normal. Or there's a third option as Smith goes with the pop pass. It's Smith. Sean Smith to the races, 40, 30, and he's going to get caught and taken down right at the 10. But an enormous play for Roswell as the sophomore tight end just sneaks out.
They're not going away.
No, they are not.
Wow, what a big play.
Yeah. Good to see him. He was hobbled earlier, but he's back in, and he's coming up big for him. It's going to be first down and 10 from the 11, so they can get a first down without scoring.
Oh.
And Smith is going to be stonewalled. Nowhere for him to go on that one.
Yeah, a bunch of people around the ball that time.
So the third option would be, you can attempt, now this might have to be, rules might have to be adjusted based on level, but you attempt a 50-yard field goal. And if you make it, you don't get the extra point. Your touchdown's only 6, but you then get possession at the 20. Going out.
Of course, the way kickers are today, that's a
I mean, you might have to.
That's a chip shot. Some of these guys, like we talked, the kid from LaGrange last week kicked it 52-yarder. We were sitting here calling it, and they lined up, and you know, it's 4th and 2, and they just trot this guy out, and we figured, well, they're going for this. Nope, he come out and just boomed it.
Here's Trey Smith. Fighting ahead, powering, trying to get to the end zone. He's going to be taken down just shy of the goal line. But yeah, that's my idea. Craig did not like it. But since when have he and I ever agreed?
Yeah. Yeah, this is 4th and 1.
Peel out of the backfield. Pop pass, and this one's going to be swatted away. And so the big play to Smith
goes for naught.
But Thomas County Central's defense steps up huge in the deep red zone. Comes away with the 4th and 1 stop at the goal line.
That's twice they've turned them away in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
And a big play here.
This is going to be a nice angle here. Try to get the pop pass there to Campbell, but nobody bites on Peel. Tried to use the eye candy to get everyone flowing that direction, and very similar play design to the one that they got the big play to Smith on.
Yep.
But, you know, interesting situation here now. Deep in their own territory. Here's Johnson, hands it off to Lawrence. He's going to squirt free. And you know.
It just means they go 99 yards instead of 90 yards, you know.
Yeah, you know. Just kind of business as usual for this Thomas County Central offense. And, you know, we've been talking about next Wednesday on PBS and the NFHS network, you're going to want to be tuned in because Gainesville and Thomas County Central is going to be one heck of a game.
Yeah, there are going to be some really good games next week. The Benedict Creekside game.
Yeah.
It's going to be a heck of a game. Then you have the monster game, Carrollton Buford.
So Thomas County Central able to just take the knee here under 2 minutes. Roswell with all 3 timeouts, but in a 3-score game, they're just gonna accept this one where it's at. Had a hell of a season, Coach Thompson and the Roswell Hornets, but Thomas County Central is a buzzsaw this year that nobody has been able to escape.
Yeah.
And we will see if they can finish off the perfect season. Johnson will take another knee. There'll be one more knee away from victory here. And got to say, commend Roswell on a lot of poise right now. It's easy, and we've seen it before. Teams will kind of crumble here in these situations where they know their season's over, there's nothing they can do, and they kind of crumble and lose their composure, and you know, things get out of hand, and there's some extracurriculars and whatnot, but some really good sportsmanship being shown here between these two teams. There's the snap, and there's the final knee from Johnson. Backflip in the end zone from Christian Lawrence, who's undoubtedly the MVP of this game. 4 rushing touchdowns for Christian Lawrence. He's got 25 on the year. He came into the game with 1,500 yards, and he might be close to 2,000 for the season after this one. Just an outstanding display of coaching from Thomas County Central to make the adjustments at halftime to really silence what was a high-powered offense from Roswell early in this one. We can see some of the highlights from this one. That's the first touchdown of the day. Smith found Campbell and started off the scoring. Thomas County Central, though, with an answer. It was Lawrence who started things for Thomas County Central. It was Lawrence who ended things for Thomas County Central. This here for Smith is going to be a quarterback run for the score. He had a few in the game himself. And we talked about earlier, that's the big catch and run from Watkins. They tried it again later on in the night, and a nice open field tackle was made, but the Watkins score early, cut the lead back, cut into the lead and tied it back up. Roswell again going up 21 to 14. But Thomas County Central, as they did all night, as they have done all year, with an answer. That made it 21-21, and we went to halftime tied. And Butch in the second half.
Oh, yeah.
It was all TCC.
Yeah, and it was all Christian Lawrence. They couldn't figure out a way to tackle him. And that's the play right there that broke their back. It's 3rd and 18 on their own 41-yard line, and he goes 59 yards. And then he goes again.
60 on that one. So that's going to do it for us here from Thomas County Central. We want to thank you all for joining us on the NFHS network with Score 58. 590 yards, 484. If you had the over-under at 1,000 combined yards, congratulations.
Yeah.
You just made some money. But we want to thank you here from all of us, the Score 58 family, the NFHS with the GHSA. For Butch Prosser, I've been Alex Schaefer. Stay classy, stay safe, and we will see you soon.